Hello, my name is Rich Howard, owner of Architectural Builder Supply. In this video is to bring you a closer look at the Jo number SMEST-125 in a DU finish. So this is an extended lip strike in a 4 7/8 ANSI size format. And admittedly, this is an unusual strike. We don't sell many of these strikes with an extended lip. This would be a confluence of, it could be a number of things why you would use this strike. Certainly because you have an unusual wall condition whereby you need the extended lip to keep that latch bolt from making premature contact with the casing, the wall, some sort of construction that's been done. You might have custom cabinetry, and you could have a hollow metal door that's been applied into an incredibly thick hollow metal door and frame into a very deep wall, and you might have the wall treatment come back up to the face of the frame, up all the way up to the face of the frame out here. Not unusual. Well, when that door closes, it just comes and that lip just starts hitting the drywall and gouging into it. So an extended lip strike would be used for that. A custom cabinet situation, you might have a custom kitchen where there's millwork on everything, including the face of the appliances. Well, you might have a relatively concealed type pantry door, and you might have, typical millwork construction for such an item. You could use a scenario like this with an extended lip, but the large prep in the hole tells me that, well, you could have a mortise lock with a deadbolt. You could have a situation where you have not only an unusual wall condition where you need the extended lip, but you could have a door from manufacturer A and a frame from manufacturer B. So let's say you've got this door hung on, there's manufacturers of doors that have their hinges in the same place, but then they put their locks in a different place. You could also have a manufacturer A and B where A and B don't match anything, but you've used a continuous hinge, but you want to use a stock door because you're installing a new door onto an existing frame with a continuous hinge, and that lock location is 7/16 off. Okay, so you could very easily use a strike like this. Doesn't matter, I suppose, if your latch bolt's coming here or coming here or coming here. Doesn't really matter. So a large prep like this will allow you to also work in that sort of scenario as well. It's one of the tricks that can be used, because you might have a hollow metal frame that you don't want to change, and you can't get access to that manufacturer's door for whatever reason. Geography, lead time, maybe they're no longer in business, but you realize, gosh, that's only an inch off. Okay. Enter a custom strike with a full prep. But having extended lip and this, who knows what it's really being used for. But it's certainly an unusual condition, that's for sure. So that is the SMEST. I was about to say this is made of steel. It's clearly not. And I put my magnet on there thinking it would stick. So this is made of stainless. And then they powder coated the dark bronze finish over stainless steel base material. That's certainly what has happened here. You'll get a couple of screws. They're going to be combination thread so that you could use it in a wood or machine application, a wood frame or a steel frame. Now its dimensional properties, they're buried within the part number, the SMEST-125, all conspire to tell us everything dimensionally about the item. It's 4 7/8 tall. That's going to be the typical size for an ANSI prep on a hollow metal frame. An American National Standards Institute defined standard prep. 1.25 inches over here. The height of the lip, not that that's crucial because that's also a standard, about 3 3/8. The overall width of this strike is about 3 1/8, but it's a 2.5 inch extended lip strike because all strikes are measured from the center line of the screw to the edge of the lip, and that's where the 2.5 inch comes in. Okay, so when you're talking about strike dimensions, you're talking, when it comes to the lip length, it's from the center of the screw to the edge of the lip. That's important to keep in mind. Turned over, radius lip, front of that lip there. Now let's take a look. Now there is a template down below this video, but it's important to state that the manufacturer's template shows that this is not one complete full cutout, and that it's actually separated equally in half. So be mindful of the fact that Danjo may have changed their design. This might be an error, and I'll discover the truth of the matter after this video. But having one full cutout may not be advantageous for your application, so be mindful of that. What I mean by that is if you have a mortise lock, there's nowhere for the dead latching tab on the mortise lock to reside against. Okay, so that would be a downfall of this type of strike. Even if it was the type that's divided equally with the metal horizontal feature to it, there's nothing to say that your deadlocking tab will ride against that. So be mindful when using this that you may not be appropriately installing the strike in accordance with the way that the lock was designed and engineered to work, and it may run afoul of fire code as well. Obviously, a door is tested with the deadlocking tab properly engaged. This is not going to afford that at all. So if you have a mortise exit device, if you have a mortise lock, or that tab is not a feature of the latch bolt directly, a regular cylindrical or tubular lock, a board lock, is going to work fine because your deadlocking tab will be held back from the flat area here. So be mindful of that scenario. There is a link below this video to the manufacturer's page where you can pull up not only all of the Danjo products that we sell, but also a link to the manufacturer's website, as well as a link to the full product catalog. However, on that page, there are also several, the individual sections of the catalog are listed there as well, so that you're not trying to work in a single unwieldy PDF document, because it is a bit unwieldy when you're looking at the entire document on its own. So if you know you're dealing with latch protectors, you can go right to that. And if you do know the name Danjo at all, you'd probably know them for latch protectors. They're door reinforcing wraparound plates likely as well. But you'll notice from those catalog sections that they are a comprehensive provider of practically all things trim and auxiliary hardware. And I would encourage you to review their product line, and I would encourage you to try their products. A relatively small company given the overall size of many others within the industry, but they do a very, very good job with being able to get material made up and shipped out promptly. Any questions on the Danjo number SMEST-125 in a dark bronze powder-coated finish, or any other Danjo product, please feel free to reach out to us. Thank you.